some advice and tips and tricks and products, our life has transformed drastically. And I was like, wow, game changer. It was just driving Justin and I crazy. But this one has saved my sanity and my sleep. Do you know what a Yodo is? This might be a little TMI. Hey guys, welcome back. So many of you know that our son Ezra was diagnosed with ASD or autism spectrum disorder. This was something that we officially shared here on our channel over the summer when we shared his kindergarten curriculum pics. I'll be sure to link that video down below. Well, today I thought I would do a video dedicated to some of the resources, products, and just in general things that we have found super helpful for us and for Ezra the last few months. This is actually a video I think I'm going to do pretty regularly here on the channel, maybe quarterly. These are videos that I wish there were more of. Personally, I love hearing advice and firsthand experience from other special needs families about things, that work for them, resources, products, advice, tips, tricks, things that make their life and their child's life just a little bit easier or just a little bit safer or more fun. So that's what I'm going to do today. I have several things here. I've tried to categorize them as best I can, but we'll just get started and go through them one by one. All right, so let's start out with the safety category. This is obviously something very high on the priority list for all of us as special needs and just parents in general. So for Ezra, as a 5.5-year-old, he has very quickly started to outgrow all of the baby proofing or child proofing items that we utilized when he was younger to keep him safe. Well, as he has physically gotten bigger, it's been difficult to find things that will continue to help him to be safe, even though he has the ability to escape or open things that previously he wasn't able to. So first up on the list is a door chime kit. And when I tell you this has saved me hours and hours of sleep, I am not kidding you. We used to keep a baby gate at Ezra's door, but obviously he figured out how to climb it and how to open it. And so I still was feeling worried about him getting up and roaming the house at night. This has been my lifesaver. It has a magnetic sensor here that you attach to your door frame of your child's bedroom, and then it has a plug-in speaker that you can plug in right next to your bed. And so when Ezra opens his door in the morning or in the middle of the night, the little chime right next to my bed just sings a little song to let me know, hey, Ezra is up and moving around. Maybe he's gonna go use the bathroom or he needs a drink of water. And it is not some type of ridiculous alarm that's like woo woo in the middle of the night waking up our entire household, which was a lot of the products I found. This is just a small little alarm that I can keep next to my bed so that it wakes Justin and I up if Ezra gets up. You could utilize this on bedroom doors. You could put this in a lot of places in your home. I'll be sure to link this and any other products that I can down below. But this one has saved my sanity and my sleep. All right, speaking of doors, this color is ridiculous. I'm going to warn you now. Now I ordered this one. It is brass. It was supposed to be a brass. It's very orangey yellow. I'm going to return it. They make black, white, all kinds of different colors of this. Instead of, like kind of the old-fashioned chain locks that you could have at the top of a door, these are just a little bit different. They open a little bit differently. They look a little sleeker on your door, which I appreciate. We have these installed on our exterior doors up at the top. They're just an extra level of security if Ezra knows how to unlock the doorknob or the deadbolt down at the bottom. He cannot reach this top lock that we install at the top. I also love this for our bathroom door for we have a bathroom closet door where we keep medicines and different things like that I don't want him to obviously have access to. Another place that I put these is our pantry door. We have a closet pantry door in our kitchen, and this was not just for Ezra, but for some of my other younger kids. I was tired of kids getting in the pantry and sneaking granola bars and pouches and things throughout the day. So having this up at the top of our pantry just kind of slows the kids down. If they're wanting to get a snack, I at least know they're in the pantry. Another product that has been invaluable to us are these baby-proofing magnetic cabinet locks. I know a lot of people who have little ones use these. This was new to me. I just kind of had the old-fashioned child-proofing prior to this. My brother and sister-in-law use these in their kitchen, and I was like, wow, game changer. Now, I will insert a clip here of exactly how these work. We've been using these for, gosh, almost 2 years, I think now, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It has baby proofing that is unable to be opened unless you have the magnetic key. You can purchase extra keys of these, which I find helpful. We can keep them on different floors in the house, and again, just stick into the box. It utilizes a magnet to lock cabinets that you can easily open with the key. We like to use these magnetic cabinet locks on our knife drawer, on bathroom cabinets where I don't want, access to cleaning products and other things. Even just, this might be a little TMI. I use some of these magnets on Ezra's bedroom drawers, in drawers that I just don't want opened and dumped, where I have bedding or sheets or extra out of season clothing. Sometimes he can get really excited about playing and start getting into all the drawers. A lot of toddlers and little kids do that. So I utilize these even in his bedroom just to kind of keep some of his drawers closed that I don't want to have to clean up all the time. All right, another safety item that has just been a game changer for us are air tags. Now, this is an air tag that I have inside of a little watch strap for Ezra. We have several of these. They're not very expensive, about $25, maybe $30 if you include the watch band each. But he wears an air tag anytime he leaves the house. He just, puts it on. He thinks it's a watch. He thinks he's so cool, like he has a watch like mama. And I am able to track his location on my iPhone. And this is just, again, an insurance plan. Honestly, if he would ever get away from me in public, if he would somehow elope and get out of our home and go for a walk through the neighborhood, I mean, Lord forbid that would ever happen, but if he did, I would be able to find where he is. And so we have worked really hard with Ezra to kind of make it a habit for him that when he puts his shoes on to go outside, he puts his watch on to go outside. So if he goes out to ride his tricycle, he's wearing his watch. If we go to church, he is wearing his watch. And honestly, I'm gonna start utilizing these in some other ways. Justin just sent me an Instagram reel that showed how somebody inserted these inside of their child's tennis shoes, just kind of out of sight. But again, a really easy, way to just kind of have that reassurance for your special needs child that you can find them if they ever get away from you. Okay, so that's it for all of the safety items. Moving into visuals. Now, this is going to be a shameless plug for my website, for my new shop that I have on our website, but I use visuals with Ezra for just about everything. They have become such a part of our day in and day out. Using visual schedules, visual menus for him has been a game changer. So I just grabbed this real quick. We have several items like this around the house. This is a board I keep in his room that has his bedtime routine. And there's just little cards in here that he can look at to say, oh, I'm gonna go potty. Oh, now I have to get undressed. Then it's time to take a bath. Then I have to put on my pajamas. And he loves this. He loves to take each one of these little cards and flip them over when he has completed the task. It really helps to have that visual support. I read recently, I don't know if it was on Autism Speaks or somewhere, but if you had a deaf child, the best way to communicate with them would be through signs. If you have a child with autism, one of the best ways to communicate with them is with visual aids and visual supports. And since we have implemented these visual schedules with Ezra, our life has transformed drastically. We cannot live without them now. They have just been such a help for him. Something I've worked really hard on with these is to make sure that we are using real pictures, not cartoons. Ezra just relates so much better to seeing an actual toothbrush, not a cartoon picture of a toothbrush. That's just one example. The other thing we have done with these is I put Velcro strips on the back, and I have little boards that we can take around the house. I have some for church where we have his church routine of what he does in class at church, in the sanctuary at church, just so you can kind of take these on the go and move them all around. Velcro on the back helps tremendously. In addition to these visual schedules, we also started using a visual menu board for Ezra. And honestly, my other kids like it too. But I have all the different foods that he regularly eats, and we will every morning go over and say what we're gonna have for breakfast, what we're gonna have for lunch, what he's gonna have for a snack, what to expect for dinner. And sometimes just knowing what is going to be on his plate just helps him to prepare. It helps him to know this is what we're going to eat. My kids also like it because they like to see what we're going to do ahead of time. I could do an entire video devoted to these visuals and how we utilize them in our home. If you're interested in that, leave me a comment down below. As I said, I do have some of these in my shop on my website. I have several freebies, some that are just for purchase. I've tried to really keep the cost down. But if you purchase anything from our website, from my shop, you should know that that money is going to put towards Ezra's therapies. I take any profit that I make from these visuals from my website, and they are going for our out-of-pocket cost for Ezra's different speech, occupational therapy, ABA therapies, all of those type of things. That's where this money is going. So please, if you need something like this, it's been a game changer for us, but you can also support a special needs family by purchasing them at our site. All right, moving on to sensory items. I just have one right now to share, but if you have a child with autism, you know that having headphones, just noise dampening headphones, can be really, really helpful, especially if you're in situations where you're in a big public space that's super noisy or overwhelming or just sensory overload. These have helped Ezra tremendously. And I do want to put a link specifically to this pair. We have tried several different pairs of headphones for Ezra, and these are by far the most comfortable. These are his ones he will go to when he is looking for headphones. These are the ones he picks every single time. So I'm hoping to get a few more colors, a few more sets to keep one in the car, one in his backpack, one in his bedroom, things like that. I actually heard about these from another special needs mama on Instagram. She was saying how well they worked for her child, and yeah, they're the Alpine brand, and again, I'll be sure to link them down below. All right, and then now moving into school and learning, I have several things to share, and these are kind of the more fun ones, right? Like, we're not talking about safety issues. These are kind of what makes learning more fun and easier for Ezra. So first off, let's talk about, we're going to talk about markers and crayons. And this was a tip that I learned from So Happy to Learn. It is a homeschool curriculum. We aren't currently using it, but I follow their Facebook page. It is a homeschool curriculum that was made for children with Down syndrome, but they've also seen a lot of success for kids with ASD and in other learning challenges or neurodivergencies. One of the things that they recommend in this curriculum is if you have a child with any type of fine motor skill challenges, to use markers to write with and crayons to color with. And this has just been so helpful for Ezra. We rarely use pencils anymore. Oftentimes, whenever he is needing to write something, we will use these big, fat, washable markers. It's just so helpful for kids with fine motor issues because they don't have to worry so much about the pressure that they are applying in order to write. So obviously, I do want Ezra to use pencils and pens in the future, but for now, markers have just been wonderful for doing math worksheets, for doing handwriting, for doing anything where he is needing to really write some letters or numbers. Markers have been great. The other thing is, and again, I know a crayon is a crayon, but for Ezra, because he has fine motor issues, oftentimes he would squeeze a crayon too hard or push a little too hard and it would break. And that's very, very frustrating for him and frustrating for me. And I have found this school year that these twistable crayons from Crayola that are encased in plastic and you roll the tips, they have been so helpful because if he does break the tip, we can just roll it and more crayon comes out. They're just a little bit sturdier, a little bit better for those fine motor skills. And so, yeah, not partnered with Crayola by any means, but their fat washable markers and the twistable crayons have been great for school for us this year. All right, and then speaking of pencil grip, this is something that we are, yes, working on with Ezra. We use the markers a lot, but I do have a time frame each day where we are working on holding a pencil correctly. And just a few aids that have really helped us are pencil grips. These are my two favorites thus far. These, sorry, they're a little bit like dusty. They collect stuff on them because of the texture that they're made out of. Let me put a pencil in to show you. And they give you that tripod grip that you automatically know where to put your thumb and fingers to pinch and grip. And then, I mean, just full disclosure, sometimes I have noticed with Ezra, instead of, working to do the pincher grasp, the tripod grasp with this, he will just fist it and use the pencil grip as just something to hold onto, which obviously is not the point, but I'm just trying to get him excited about using pencils, pens, crayons, markers. So sometimes I let it go. But the solution I have found for that issue is this other type of pencil grip. This I heard about at the Homeschool conference. They are very wacky and weird looking. It took me a good second to figure out how to use this. I've had to tell Ezra that this is like a gun. That sounds silly, but it's just how it works. So you take your middle finger, put it through the loop, and your two fingers go underneath, and then your index finger and thumb go in the top. And that's how you hold it. And obviously there's absolutely no way to fist this one. It would feel funky. So you kind of have to hold it the way that it is meant to be held. And Ezra, he thinks it's funny. Like, oh, I'm gonna get my pencil gun. And it just gives him a little bit of variety in the type of pencil grip that he's using to work on those fine motor skills. And so this one, even though it's funny looking, it works really, really well. Another school supply that has been really helpful for Ezra this year are these specific scissors. I mentioned on his curriculum picks video that he was going to work on cutting with scissors this year, and I love the Kumon cutting books. Well, to go along with these scissors have this little, little arrow here in the middle that you can move, and these can just be regular scissors, or if you flip this up, they become spring scissors. And it just takes very, very little fine motor skills to be able to squeeze and open, squeeze and open. And again, when I'm working with a child who I'm just trying to get excited about trying to cut paper, who is already struggling with having those muscles built up, these have been so helpful for Ezra to gain confidence in his cutting skills, because he doesn't have to work so hard to put his thumb and fingers in the right place and squeeze and open. Just having that kind of bounce back spring has really helped him to enjoy his cutting practice. Let's talk just for 1 second. I wasn't gonna make a video without talking about curriculum. There's one in particular I want to highlight, and that is Get Set for School. This is Handwriting Without Tears, Readiness and Writing. This is the pre-K teacher's guide, and I have all of the products to go along with it, including these My First School book and My First Lowercase book. This curriculum has been awesome, just amazing. 5 stars. In particular, he has really enjoyed the roll-a-dough letters, where he gets to use red Play-Doh and roll and make letters. He also has really enjoyed the wood pieces set. I've had these for a long time, but this year I'm just using them in a totally different way with Ezra. If you're not familiar with these, they are just wooden lines and curves that you can use to create each of the different letters. And something we just worked on last week, and it was such a hit with the kids, was we made Mat Man. I have the hands and the mat to make Mat Man. This helps them to learn about body awareness as well as drawing skills. There's a few lessons where we're going to work on drawing Mat Man, and there's music that goes with this. We have loved, I bought the CDs to go along with this curriculum, and they have just been great. And so I am interested in doing an entire video about Learning Without Tears, about this book in particular, the Readiness and Writing book. If you're interested in that, leave me a comment down below. But this has been wonderful for Ezra and for Ava, honestly, this year. All right, and then these definitely could still be listed under fun and learning, but I'm just gonna put them under activities or toys. First of all, Ezra's tricycle. I'm gonna insert some clips here of him riding this bike. We have one of these for him and one of them for Ava. We go on little tricycle bike rides every single day. Riding a bike is so wonderful for kids because it has them using those gross motor skills as well as their brain, both sides of their body simultaneously. It's just wonderful. And We love this specific tricycle because it has so many options to it. It can be a regular tricycle that you would think of with pedals. You can turn it into a balance bike, which Ezra likes to call his motorcycle. You can even use it for younger kids who aren't ready to use a pedal yet. You can take the pedals off and they can just use it kind of as a, you know, a little walker bike. It has been great. Again, I have one for Ezra and for Ava, and I love these tricycles. We bought them on Amazon as birthday presents for them, and they've just been wonderful. The other fun item that I'm just so excited to share with you, a Yodo. Do you know what a Yodo is? I saw a few ads and different homeschool mamas talking about these on Instagram, and then one of my real life friends, Julia, I love you, introduced me to this in person at homeschool group, and I fell in love. This has been wonderful for Ezra. If you're not familiar with this product, this is the larger one of the Yodo. There's a small travel one as well, but it essentially is an audiobook player, a CD player, an MP3 player. It has these little credit card size cards that your child is able to insert. This is The Very Hungry Caterpillar and
The Very Hungry Caterpillar and Other Stories.
It will show them an image of what they are listening to. There's different images for each chapter. There is volume control for them. They can skip through and listen. I mean, you'll just have to go to the website and look at all the things that a Yodo does. But in particular, this was so helpful for us because I did not like the idea of Ezra having an Echo in his room or any type of device like that. He just gets a little bit too hyper-focused on it and too demanding with it to play exactly what he wants when he wants it. The other thing is that he has lack of volume control, and he would just blast a CD player at the top of its volume. It was just driving Justin and I crazy. And one of the features on the Yodo is that you have volume control from your phone. So I can set a max for his daytime volume that he can listen to, and I can also do a setting at nighttime that it can't go, you know, past a 4 at nighttime, so that he is not able to turn this up super duper loud. The other features on here is that it does have a wake clock and a sleep clock on it. So right now, you know, it's what time is it? 1:15 in the afternoon. So there's a sun shining here. At night, it has a moon. And again, that's fully programmable from my phone. I can say, oh, I want the moon to show until 7:30 a.m. And I want, you know, the daytime sun to show until 7 p.m. at night. You can definitely program this however you want, but this has been great because we've been trying to work on Ezra using this as a cue of when he's allowed to get up in the morning and when he needs to go to bed at night. But something else that I've just really gotten into lately are make your own cards. I will read Ezra's favorite books and record myself and turn it into an MP3, and then I'm able to download it on cards for him. And so this one right here, I made a sticker for the front of this card. But this is Ezra's favorite board books read by mommy, and it's all of his favorite books, The Supermarket, Brown Bear, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. All of his favorite board books I read and put on here, and this is his favorite thing to listen to when he goes to sleep at night. And it cuts down on the amount of read aloud time. I love reading aloud with my kids, but I have a lot of kids, and at night I'm pretty tired. And so this is a way that I'm able to still allow him to listen to mommy reading to him, even if I'm not actually in the room all of that time. Now, I'm going to pose a question for you. If you've gotten this far in the video, I'm sure you are a parent with a child with special needs or a disability. And one of the things we've been struggling with Ezra is his car seat. Keeping him in his car seat. He is a little escape artist. He likes to unbuckle when I'm driving down the freeway. And again, it's just one of those issues that you have with a child when they are getting big enough to unbuckle things or open baby gates, but not wise enough in their decision making to be able to do that. And so I'm wondering if anybody has a solution for in the car seat, any tips and tricks you have for keeping your special needs child safe in the car, in their car seat. I would love to hear it. Put it in the comments down below. All right, guys, well, that's it for this quarter. Those are my favorite products, resources, things that have just been helpful for us with Ezra. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Again, I'm going to be making this type of video probably every quarter. So if you have not done so, please, please, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much here on YouTube. I hope you guys are having a great week. See you later.